Hello everyone. Today I woke up and decided I wanted to join in on the fun theorizing of the Fnaf fandom and collectively possibly piss off everyone in the community. Necessary disclaimer, as you can tell by the title of the video, this video will contain major spoilers for the Fnaf Ruin DLC, and also go back to Security Breach main game at times for some talking points. I posted this theory on the Fnaf subreddit but decided to make this quick video to help visualize my points. If you want to read the text post, it is linked below. Keep in mind that you would be reading quite literally the exact same thing. But I am not your mother, so go crazy and reread it if you want. YOLO. Now for our grand beginning, I have a lot of thoughts on Monty and Bonnie's connections, which, I know, I can hear all of your groans and screams. It's a mixed bag with how people feel about whether it was Monty or not Monty who essentially murked Bonnie, but just hear me out. Especially you, Monty apologists. I see you. I'd like to start by addressing what we have concrete evidence for in the security breach logs. Bonnie is last seen entering Monty Golf. Bonnie's disappearance/decommissionment wasn't planned, since children are asking employees where he is and they don't have a company-approved response. Management thought they could capitalize on Bonnie's decommissionment and garner more revenue by making Monty the new guitarist. Monty often skips performances to wander the catwalks of his golf course. Upgrading his claws after he becomes a Glamrock to play the guitar leads to him becoming more aggressive. Additionally, in the Ruin DLC, we are forced into a scripted event where we, as Cassie, are on the Monty Golf gondola ride and see Monty's origin story. Monty used to be a solo performer, playing the banjo. It seems he idolized the Glamrocks, and Bonnie eventually passes off his guitar to Monty, and Monty is seen getting his appearance fixed by Roxy for debut. See, yes? Okay, enough of that video, continuing on. I believe that while there is some truth to the origin story presented by Fazbear Entertainment, it's not the entire truth. This is, after all, a company who is notorious for covering up children's deaths and a slew of other things. At its core, the gondola ride, to me, seems like it was meant to be the very same company-approved response employees were looking for to explain to children why Bonnie is missing.
Okay, but so what? Most of us assumed this from the outset, idiot.
I'm getting there. I think we've all realized Steelwool is very heavy leaning into environmental storytelling. The set design is purposeful, especially so in Ruin, where every piece of shattered, decrepit asset is adding value to the narrative. So if we're leaning into the idea that set design is helping aid the storyline in Ruin, we can all agree it is suspicious that the metaphorical, though physically present, force of Monty's guitar is quite literally beheading the large golden Freddy statue. Where else have we seen Monty supporting the imagery of getting rid of Freddy? Monty Golf Course, where Freddy is in the dumpster in stage hole 9. Also, the newspaper clipping in one of the endings shows Mr. Hippo is promoted into the Glamrock band, and Monty takes lead as singer.
How does this tie into Bonnie at all?
Glad you asked. If you go back to the gondola ride and no-clip it, at the very edge of the green tornado, there's actually a small cardboard cutout of Glamrock Bonnie, drifting up from the force of the wind. It personally reminds me of when a tornado runs through an area and picks up debris as collateral damage. Do you catch my drift yet? I believe that Monty idolized Bonnie specifically within the Glamrocks, hence why he plays the banjo and why Bonnie passes off his guitar to him in the gondola ride. And he wanted to replace Freddy so that he'd be able to play with Bonnie and the others, but Bonnie could have possibly found this out, since both Security Breach and Ruin DLC seem to imply Freddy and Bonnie had a very strong friendship. Freddy saying he doesn't go to Bonnie Bowl anymore because he misses Bonnie. Entering the back room of Bonnie Bowl, we see what appears to be Bonnie's private, green, room, with his own neon sign, a star mirror similar to the green rooms of other animatronics, 2 Freddy items on his desk, and a Freddy poster signed by Freddy himself saying they'd be together forever. I believe that Bonnie attempts to confront Monty in order to protect Freddy, and in the process ends up being dismantled by Monty himself. Bonnie is found absolutely violated in a hidden room in the Ruin DLC, his exoskeleton is crushed in various parts, there are 3 claw marks slashing his chest diagonally, and there's a cracked bowling ball near his head. Some people pointed out that the green near the claw marks of Bonnie's chest couldn't be paint, but paint can certainly be transferred with enough force and friction, and metal is a mold-resistant material, so it can't be mold. We don't know what the Glamrocks are made of, but I assume it's some mixture of plastic and metal. Also, others have pointed out that Monty's claws are black, not green. But here's the thing, if you're swiping at someone and making a scratch, your nails are going past the surface, therefore, the thing in contact with the exoskeleton of Bonnie's chest should be fingertips, not nails. And wouldn't you know it, but Monty's wears fingerless gloves, which means his green fingertips are exposed. If everything is confusing you and you can't make the sequence of events clear, allow me to demonstrate. Bonnie is idolized by Monty, and Monty gets into music with the idea of being like his favorite band player. He envies Freddy's position and friendship with Bonnie, so he devises a plan to get rid of Freddy, but Bonnie catches wind, and confronts him at Monty Golf. I believe that the swipe to Bonnie's chest is the first blow, which possibly pushes Bonnie back and makes him fall off the catwalk. Previous Security Breach logs also mentioned that when Monty fell off the catwalk, he shattered his arms and legs from the impact, similar to the damages Bonnie has. From there, something happens that makes Monty hide Bonnie behind Bonnie Bowl where he won't be found. I believe the final blow is the bowling ball to Bonnie's head to crush his endoskeleton. Maybe Monty didn't want it to be found out that he accidentally killed Bonnie. This could be why Monty avoids performances and goes to the catwalks instead. He decommissioned his favorite animatronic, and is forced to perform with the one he wanted to get rid of in the first place, which only amps his aggression after being given the claw upgrades. Something else to add that I noticed while playing Ruin, is that Ruin DLC seems to be a story of closure or redemption for our current cast of animatronics. Chica gets her voice bank back, Roxy becomes a sort of protector for Cassie instead of a threat, and Sun/Moon are united into Eclipse and find balance and harmony. The only character who doesn't get any sort of redemption is Monty, who we see has only grown more aggressive, and he's quite literally the only character we straight up kill in Ruin, by frying his circuits with a Glamrock Bonnie neon sign. Now wouldn't that be ironic symbolism at its finest? If Steelwool planned for Monty to be the culprit for Bonnie's murder, it makes absolute sense, in a sort of poetic justice almost, that Monty is then killed by the literal image of Bonnie later on. To address some other points I've heard.
It could have been the Mimic who killed Bonnie.
Doubtful. Gregory says at the end of Ruin DLC that the Mimic had been trapped under Roxy Raceway for a long time, and was only free because Cassie removed the security and released it. It had no way of getting out and attacking Bonnie. Roxy has green nails which could explain the green on Bonnie's chest marks, but she has no motive. It could also be some random new animatronic we have yet to meet, but this feels the weakest of explanations to me.
What about Vanessa/Vanny controlling Monty?
This is plausible as well. But what motive would she have to control Monty and get rid of Bonnie herself? Nothing has been introduced yet, so for the moment, it feels less compelling as a theory.
You stupid bitch, what about the claw upgrade? Monty got his claws after Bonnie disappeared.
I believe wording here is important. Monty received an upgrade, not a new installation. It's very possible that Monty already had lesser quality claws to strum his banjo or keep the appearance of a gator, and simply got reinforced claw upgrade to play his newer, higher quality instrument on stage. In the meta of it all, it's probably just Steelwool retroactively trying to figure out how to work Bonnie into the storyline now that they realized he was so wanted and demanded by fans. They're probably going for Monty being the culprit, and any inconsistencies in explanation are just inconsistencies from lapses in writing and planning. Now before I get absolutely decimated at the stake, I love Monty. He's an interesting character, and I want to see more of him in the future. Security Breach and Ruin DLC seem to be pivoting the storyline from dead children to artificial intelligence and sentience, and I am all for it. I want to see these characters develop, even in their moral ambiguity. My final unpopular opinion. There was only so much longer the Fnaf franchise could go for with the repetition of dead children possessing animatronics. The animatronics have always been advanced for their time, and I'm glad that now they're focusing on just how advanced they are and how that affects the storyline. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to dissect and add your own commentary as well. I'm always happy to hear opposing opinions, different ideas, and more. Bye bye.